Hey, what's up guys, this is Liam on CSGO Station. Today I'm going to be showing you a lot of smokes as well as some Molotovs and flashes on the map Mirage on CSGO. If there's any specific ones that you wanted to skip to, I'll leave them all annotated in the description. I'm going to be starting off with the mid smokes, especially window, as a lot of people seem to want to know how to smoke that when they first do get the game. If this helps you out, then do be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you enjoy the channel. I'm going to start with mid window smokes because a lot of people ask for these. So you come to this end window here and look towards the top middle part of this rail. If you go up about the same distance as the telegraph pole there and aim right in the center of the blue sky, run forward and throw just before you hit the fence. This one takes a little bit of practice, but when you get used to it, it's actually one of the more simple mid smokes and is really helpful. An easy option to smoke mid is if you already make it behind mid boxes to stand by the back wall and aim at the top of this building. Walk forwards and throw for an easy mid smoke. Another good way to smoke mid window is to come into B apps and go by this red wall where this other window is. You can stand by the crack just here and notice that there is a slight dot missing there in the brickwork. If you move up just to up and left of where the edge of this big tower comes out, you can throw this and it will go straight over and bounce off the side of the window in mid. It will bounce straight into the middle and then no one will be able to see from that position. One of the more advanced options to smoke mid, and this one takes a little bit of practice but does work with some consistency, is if you come onto this back box from T spawn. You then aim right at the center of this telegraph pole and crouch. What you do is you walk forward, jump and release, and it will fly all the way across the map, bounce right in the middle of the window and be where you want it to be. This is one of the hardest ones and will take some practice. Some of the mid smokes are to smoke offshore, going towards B. For this smoke, you can go into the back corner here and aim at the top of this window. Jump and throw, it will go all the way across the map, it will bounce off a roof a couple of times, all the way down and smoke it off perfectly. An alternate way to do this smoke is to come all the way to the back here and wedge yourself in between these stairs. Aim right in between the two posts there and a little bit below the roof. Jump and throw, it will fly all the way across the map, bounce off of the same roof as before and land in the same position. An alternate way to smoke B short is to come and wedge yourself up by this arch underground, aim straight at the left hand pole of the three, move forward until you get to the top of the stairs, release, it will bounce straight back off and smoke short off perfectly. An easier way to get yourself into mid on this map is to come up here and wedge yourself by this trash can. If you turn around, look at the telegraph pole there, right on the edge, aim, throw, it will bounce right in the middle so that people from window will not be able to see you. They may pick off a lucky shot, but that's not likely to happen and it'll get you to the mid box, able to throw a smoke that I shown you earlier. I'm now going to show you some smokes for connector. This one is a little bit more complicated and can take some practice. You wedge yourself right in between this box and the platform that gets you up into apps. You aim right at the dot on the wire, jump, throw, release, and boom. Land straight on the top step if done correctly, and it will be very difficult for the enemies to see out. It will be much easier when taking B site. An alternate but risky way to smoke this is if you come underground, stand towards the top of the stairs and aim right at the corner where people can be camping. If no one is there, you can run forward, bounce it off the wall and it will smoke off A perfectly, making it much easier for your team to go to B. One of the better ways to smoke connector is come to B apps by that red wall from earlier. If you wedge yourself in the corner between the door and the post there, turn around and look up straight up just to the height of the telegraph pole from earlier. You just need to aim a little bit left of the building and throw. You don't need to be perfect on this one. It's pretty easy and should get you up to the 5th step. Very good for taking B site from mid. Now moving on to A site, I'm going to show you a lot of different ways to smoke CT as not everyone finds them all reliable, so I'll show you all the ones that I know. If you line up perfectly with this crack dead center and look up, you can see this little pole poking out the top of the building there. Just aim to the right of it, walk forward slightly and release. It will bounce perfectly in front of CT, and the only way they'll be able to see you is if they jump all the way up onto ticket booth, which is very risky for the enemy. My favorite and one of the most reliable in my opinions is to come all the way up to this edge of this door and stand there. There's a little dark rock there, a little bit darker brick than the rest of them. You just aim to the bottom left of it, jump and throw. This again should land perfectly, and the only people that should be able to see you are the ones that jump onto ticket booth. One of the most recent ones I've learned for CT is if you get all the way up against this pole on this little wall and aim right at the edge of the building, you can jump and throw. This smoke will bounce exactly the same as the others, land on the box and only be visible from ticket booth. If you want to smoke Danger Box from top mid, you can come all the way up to just before mid and line yourself underneath this little box here. If you aim at the top of the building over there, aim just up a little bit, jump and throw. This will bounce perfectly. It will land on the box and people will not be able to see anything from this position. An alternate way to do this is from B apps. If you wedge yourself in between that door and the pole, same as earlier, aim right in the middle of this piece of wood, jump and throw. This will completely smoke people off on Danger Box. Popular for some people, but not for myself, is to come to the same position as earlier and aim just underneath these flowers in between this dark brick area, jump and throw. This will bounce right off near the back of jungle and smoke off jungle from people sitting there with the AWP. The reason I do not like this is because it still leaves a big gap for people to peek you, and I just don't find it that reliable. Now, probably the best connector smoke possible is if you walk right up to this wooden rafter here and wedge yourself just so you can't quite see the side of it. Turn around and aim dead center at this brick right at the top edge. Throw release, it will bounce off of stairs and land perfectly. This smoke goes perfectly with the stair smoke, which is very simple. You just jump up onto this box, look right in the middle of this platform here, and throw. If both of these are thrown at the same time, it completely blocks off that side of the map. Last but not least on the T side smokes is the B side. If you line yourself right up with this window and then just to where the support is for this air conditioning box, you can aim right in the middle of the sky there and throw. This one takes a little bit of practice, requires a little bit of muscle memory, but can smoke off the middle of the site very perfectly and give you an easy bomb plant in the smoke. This could be particularly good for pistol rounds. You can also smoke off the back walls, making it easier to get onto site and that power position being a lot less useful for the enemy by lining up with this pole here and going right to the top edge of this tower. Just release, throw, and it will land exactly where you want it to. If you come back to where you wedged yourself in the corner on this door earlier, but instead actually go to the center of the door, walk all the way up to it and turn around and aim back up towards that little spot right on the edge of the tower. Click, release and throw, and this will land right in front of shot, making the power position back there a lot less useful. A great way to smoke off windows so they can't look into apps is to come just underneath this little light here. If you turn around and aim at the same mark on the tower, release and throw, it will land just so no one can see you, no one can AWP you from that position when you're trying to come out of apps. If you want to make it so no one on the back box can see you as you're trying to rush site, you can walk all the way to this back wall right in the middle. If you look just to the left of the air conditioning box right in the middle, jump and throw. It should hit the van, hit the sign at the back and land perfectly on it. No one will be able to stand on the van or either side of it and they will not be able to see into apps. If for some odd reason you want to smoke from short all the way over to the box on the other side of A, you can throw this smoke here by standing on this corner, aiming right in between the line and the wood on the edge there, jump and throw, will land all the way at the back and no one will be able to see anything. Another way to smoke jungle from this area is to also stand in this corner, aim just towards the top corner of this window, jump and throw. This will land exactly where you want it to. No one will be able to come out of Palace, and this can be used in different situations depending on what side you are. If you want to smoke Underpass on CT side, you can come in the back corner by this box and aim right on this corner. Just walk forward and throw, and it will bounce perfectly down underneath, so any T side will not be able to see through it, and they won't come through it unless they want to get slaughtered. Now, one of the hardest smokes to do, but very cool and very good for smoking the middle of B site, is to line yourself up with this blue window here right in the middle of where the palm tree is. You've got to run forward, jump and throw just before you get there, and it will fly all the way out of the map, bounce back in and land perfectly. This one takes a lot of practice. If you want to smoke ramp straight away from CT side, you can line yourself up with this pipe just here. Look all the way to the top of it from this position, right in the middle by the satellite dish. Click, release and throw. It will land perfectly. No one will be able to see you, and then have to jump up the Tetris to even have a chance. On B side, if you come and wedge yourself right in the corner by this green bin, you can look just to the top of this green covering. You just click and release and it will smoke off the rush perfectly. This may work and it may not. You just need to make sure you got a good spawn for it. Now I'm going to show you some mollies and flashes, and I'm only going to show you the important ones because most of them are very simple and you can figure them out for yourself, but I want to show you some of the better ones. If you aim just above this darker area on the patchy wall here and just across from the tower, you can jump and throw and land it perfectly on short. This is a very, very good Molotov when trying to take B site, as there's usually always a guy in this position. If you make it into B apps, you can walk up and just stand in a general kind of area and walk and throw forwards towards the red tarp and completely Molotov off the back wall. If you're playing some CT and you've got the T's running at you, you can stand on these stairs anywhere around this area. Just aim to the top of these boxes here and throw the Molotov. It will land exactly in the first plant spot for the T's, and if they try to run through it, it will do a hell of a lot of damage. From the T side, you can walk into the corner here on Palace. If you can make it this far with the use of a smoke or a flashbang, aim just below the hole and throw. It will bounce off and Molotov underneath. Sometimes this will land in this position, and other times it will actually move up and kill people that can sit on that box. The same spot could be mollied from T side if you come up to ramp, run forwards and bounce it straight off of this wall here. It is a little bit risky and some of the site will have to be smoked off for you to attempt this. Moving on to some of the flashes that are quite helpful. If you're sitting in connector here, maybe you are trapped, you've got a flash handy, you can bounce it perfectly off of the sloped part of the wall here. It will bounce back and land perfectly and flash everyone on A site and on short and bottom mid if they're peeking connector. Seems a little bit simple, but if you get caught out on Danger Box and you need to flash the site, you can easily just jump and throw, bounce off the wall, and the flash will blind everyone on site. Make sure you coordinate this one with your teammates. Also, if you're on CT side stuck underneath and you need to throw a flash for ramp, you can just walk forward and throw it straight off of these boxes I shown you earlier. Another great flash from Palace to site is if you sit right in between the last pillar here and aim right dead centre. Run forwards and throw. This one can be thrown in many different ways. It will bounce out on pop flash everyone on site. They will not be able to see anything unless they're camping underneath. Two flashes for A ramp here that are very useful. One of them, you can bounce the flash right off of this urn and run past it. It will flash a lot of people on the right hand side of site. And one that I prefer to do is if you run forward and bounce off of this wall, you can also do it just to the left there as well. It will bounce out and flash everyone on site perfectly unless they're sitting underneath. The final flash I'm going to show you today is if you're sitting on stairs, you find yourself in the corner, you can do the same kind of jump flash as you did for Danger Box. It will flash everyone on site, which will give you an opportunity to peek or just flash everyone that's trying to challenge the site. I really hope that these flashes and mollies helped you. I'm really enjoying doing this and I want to bring a lot more maps and different ones to you. If I missed any, then let me know and drop a like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content on this channel. Have a great day as always, guys. Take care and peace, people.